Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2021. The album, Dad AF. Rock on, gold dust, woman. Boost! All right. Should we get into the drama? I have so much to talk about today. Oh my God. I have so many people to talk about, so many things, so many opinions to share in today's video. But before I do, I want to say a special thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. And you guys, this video, the sponsorship is kind of a long time coming, and I'm very, very excited about it. When I was reached out to by Skillshare, I really, to be honest with you, I'd seen other sponsorships that they had done on other people's, channels and stuff, but I really didn't know a whole lot about them, in all honesty. And so I started looking into them. Over here, I do not do any sponsorships, any collaborations, integrations with anybody that I don't fully believe in, that I can, talk about to my audience. That's you. That's all of you out there. That I can stand behind and I can fully believe in. So I honestly, at first, I was like, well, I've never used this. I don't know anything about it, blah, 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 whatever. Then I was talking to a friend of mine, and I said, have you ever heard, and this was not a YouTube friend, this was a sober friend of mine. If you don't know, I've been sober for 26 years. This is a sober friend of mine. I was like, have you ever heard of, because he's very into IT and stuff. And I said, have you ever heard of Skillshare? And he was like, oh yeah, we use Skillshare, he and his wife. And I was like, you do? And he was like, yeah, they have the coolest classes on there. It's all this creative stuff and blah, 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 whatever. And he was like, we've been stuck at home for the last year. He's like, there's all kinds of stuff. And I was like, well, what kind of classes are you doing on there and whatever? And he was telling me something that he was doing that had something to do with photography, and his wife was doing something to do with plants. And I was like, plants? Plants? Y'all know I love plants, right? So anyway, I just was completely thrown down with all of this, and I started looking into it, and the more people I talked to, the more people that I knew that had taken classes at Skillshare. So here's what Skillshare is, okay? It is really, really a cool thing. It is a creative community of all these creative classes, right? Okay, you don't want to think of school and all of that. You want to think of a creative environment, okay? Kind of like a hippie learning be too much, as I always say over here, way to express and live out your creativity online through these classes that are taught by real people that are experts in these areas, to do with plants. For example, the class that I'm going to take, isn't this the coolest name ever, is Plants at Home, Uplift Your Spirit and Your Space, and it's taught by Christopher Griffin at Plant Queen. And I love that so much. I'm so excited about it, okay? So anyway, and there's tons and tons of classes over there. Hold on a second. I want to, I don't have all this obviously committed to memory, but I want to read to you the different classes that they have over here. So they have, oh Lord, I need my reading glasses. Illustration, graphic design. Tucker, what class are you going to take? He said, I'm going to take music. Music production or just music? I want to be a DJ like my dad. His dad wants to be a DJ. So graphic design, photography, different kinds of design, creative writing. Oh my God, I love creative writing. I wrote a book. I could take that. Animation, fine art. I could teach that over there. Fine art, music production, film and video, marketing, productivity, freelance and entrepreneurship, web development and crafts. There's all kinds of things over there. And kind of what it reminded me of is that we have this local organization that does community classes. You can go in there and they'll teach you how to do sushi rolls, or how to take care of your plants, or how to do auto mechanics, or how to do write a short story. There's all these different classes taught by local people, and it kind of reminded me of that. And I was like, I really, really love this. This is so cool and so creative. So please go check it out. I want to make sure that all of my points that I need to address on here. First of all, I will say this. Okay, the first 1,000 people, go click right now. The first 1,000 people that click my link below, click it. The first 1,000 of you that click that link, you get a free trial membership, but it's only $10 a month if you do an annual membership for a year, which is super, super cheap, okay? Why wouldn't you do that? There's no ads on there. They just want to focus on the classes and the creativity and learning and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, and then I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. What are you waiting for? Don't you want your life to be more creative? Especially when the majority of us are like stuck at home and we've been at home, you know, and all this kind of stuff. I think this is a really exciting way to bring some like kind of new things to like into our lives, some new ways to learn about creativity and stuff. I love it. I love the idea of it. So thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. Okay, and now let's get into the drama. So I put up a picture on Instagram yesterday because I had to pre-film this video because it's sponsored. Thank you, Skillshare. But I put up a picture on Instagram basically saying, ask me your opinions about anything and I will address them for you and I will answer them for you. So you guys, I got so many questions. It is like unbelievable. Hold on a second. Let me pull this up for you and show you. You won't believe it how many questions I got. Well, I had to like screenshot them, so it may be, oh no, it already went past it now. But here, I will show you if I can, you guys look, those are all oh my God, how many questions? I can't believe it. Okay, so let's go. I'm gonna pull just right out of the middle of the questions and go in here. Now, I have to tell you, one of the things that was funny is that a lot of people were asking me things about people that like I don't really follow or know anything about, or opinions about certain, like they'd be like, what do you think about so-and-so and so-and-so breaking up? And I'd be like, I have never heard of these people in my entire life. So I don't have an opinion about everything that's on here because I just didn't know, you know, about a lot of what you guys asked me. But there are some things on here that I do have opinions about. Let's see. Do you think Tati knew about Shane being a gossip behind his friends' backs? Oh, absolutely, 100%. I think that he, or that she knew that he was a gossip. I think he probably gossiped to her. I have to believe that the things that these people know about each other is just like unbelievable. But like, here's the thing, and I was looking in here, and you guys, there are so many questions about release the voicemails, release the voicemails that Shane Dawson sent to Charles Gross about me. And actually, I want to address this really quick. Well, what I was going to say is, you know, when I listen to them, it's just like, they're all just filled with complete lies and I know that to be true. You know, Charles Gross knows that to be true. So it was like, when I was listening to it, I was like, he's so like, anyway, I have to believe that a lot of the people around Shane Dawson know that he's just a gossip and a liar, you know? So it's like, why, like, the thing that is like the hardest for me to grasp are these supposed rumors that he told Gabby Hanna. Now, either Gabby Hanna is the biggest liar in the entire world, and people, you know, in here ask me, do you think Gabby Hanna will come out? I don't know. We can talk about that in a second. But either Gabby Hanna is the biggest liar in the entire world, or these things that she's telling everybody, like myself and other Dustin Daly and whatever, about things that she said about, you know, Jeffree, that Shane said about Jeffree Star and Trisha Paytas and whatever. It's like, did Shane make these things up? Or, you know what I mean? Like, because it's not just that he's a gossip, it's that he's spreading lies is what they are, you know? And it's really, honestly, like very kind of some serious stuff. And I have to tell you, the reason why, I got some comments on my video and people were like, well, Peter said he doesn't want to release the videos because it'll make them both look bad. The way that it'll make me, it won't make me look bad. The only way it'll make me look bad is because of the conversation at the very end where he's like, and Peter was like asking Trisha Paytas why he wasn't invited to this Christmas party. I don't remember having that conversation with Trisha Paytas. The way that Shane makes me sound, that's what I'm talking about, okay? Shane's like, and I was talking that way to Trisha Paytas. I never spoke that way to Trisha Paytas. Never in any of our conversations. And I can remember having that, you know, conversation with Charles Gross about going to the Christmas party. I never thought that I was going to get invited to the Shane and I were never like that to begin with. So I don't know who's lying. I don't know where it starts, but I'm telling you right now, like, if I ever choose to release the voice notes, which at some point, like, I mean, first of all, I don't know that most people would even understand what they were referencing because it was kind of referencing this fallout that Charles Gross and I had, which was so interesting because he was like, yeah, you were so right about Peter Monn, which is so weird because Charles and I like reconciled right after that. And Charles had come out in a video and basically said that the reason that he and I had this falling out was because he had somebody, not Shane Dawson, somebody else in his ear lying, telling him things that were not true about me. Okay, that was why, it had nothing to do with me, why we had this falling out. I had no clue. I just knew one day we were friends and the next day we weren't, and I had no idea what it was about. Charles Gross and I are completely fine now. You know, we had a really nice conversation the other day. I hadn't talked to him really in years, but he and I are, you know, we had a nice conversation, so whatever. But like Shane Dawson, to call somebody and leave 3 voice notes at 2 minutes, I mean, it's 6 minutes total, voice notes to somebody that he has only talked to about coming onto his podcast, like maybe once or twice. He had never talked to Charles other than that, right? Charles didn't go to his Christmas party. So to leave these 3 voice notes that are so vile and so disgusting, I mean, basically mimicking my voice, mimicking Trisha Paytas's voice, like mimicking, like, and then about my voice, and F this and F that. I mean, I don't talk that way, you know? And just lying straight through his mouth. It would make Shane Dawson, you guys would be so blown away. You'd be like, this is a Shane Dawson that, I mean, you would get an inside look into who he, I mean, it is vile. Like, it is really vile. But the stuff that's in there, it's petty. It's petty stuff, which also, like, makes you look at it and go, wow, like, he's really ate up. When Shane Dawson is really ate up with petty crap. It's not, he says in there something to the effect, what are we, Trish, 4th grade? No, you are 4th grade. You're the one contacting somebody to just, because he says in there, I mean, I don't have anybody in my life to talk to about Peter Monn, because, like, who's he? Nobody cares. Like, he says that in there. I played these voice notes. I mean, he's, like, laughing and mocking me and making fun of me in the videos. He does the same thing with Trisha Paytas. I played him for my best friend, because I honestly, like, when I first listened to him, I was like, these are bad, but they're not that bad. And I played him for my best friend, and she kept on just, like, looking at me, and she was like, he seriously spoke about you that way? She was like, who is he? Like, I mean, you know, so I don't know. I will at some point probably put them out there. I really want to wait and see what Shane does. I want to see what his next move is. I want to see if he comes out and is like, oh, I'm a changed person. I'm a changed person. I'm a changed person. Girl, whatever. Okay? If you were a changed person, you would have come out already and addressed all of this. Not had your fiance and everybody else addressing this. You would have come out and addressed it already. I'm not buying all that. But when he does, and he wants to convince the world he's a changed person, then I'll drop them voice notes. And that's when I think other people will start coming out too and saying, so you have something to compare it to. Here you go. Here's who Shane Dawson is behind the scenes. Do I think that Tati is aware of that? Sure. I'm sure she was a product of that. I think this is part of the reason why you don't see everybody coming out and talking about Jeffree and talking about Shane, right? Because I think at one time or another, they were all part of that. They were all gossiping and saying all the same things. I think they've all got stuff on each other, right? Like, I think it's just this ugly cesspool. I actually got this tweet today, or it was a comment on a video. Hold on a second. I'm gonna have to get out of my questions to get to this. But I thought it was so pertinent when somebody said, Jenny said this on my video from yesterday. She said, what the hell happened to these people doing makeup tutorials and now we're here? Like, I so agree with that. It's like, what happened to the makeup community? It's like, you know, people ask me in here, are there no good beauty gurus anymore? Can you not trust anybody? Sure. Elle Leary. I love Elle. She's fantastic. Raw Beauty Christie, Bailey Sarian. There are some fantastic people out there that I love in the makeup community, you know, that are non-problematic, that stay out of all of this, you know. And then there's people that choose to get in it. I even think within the big group, there are quite a few people that have kind of stayed distant from the last couple years. Nikki Tutorial, she doesn't get involved in any of this crap anymore. You know what I mean? She's like, who, me, what? Leave me out of all of this. I think Manny and Laura have really redeemed themselves in the last couple of years. I think that Patrick Starr tries to do his best to kind of just stay out of all of this. I think Bretman Rock does a good job of staying out of all of this. And I don't think he gets enough credit, actually, for, I mean, he has had friendships with problematic people like Nikita Dragon and whatever, but Brett's really not been in any kind of drama, and he has been so successful within the makeup industry, and he's so funny, you know, like, I don't really think that he gets enough, you know, validation as much as he should, and he's one of the top people, you know. So I think it's because of all of those things. Do I think that Gabriel has been privy to gossiping with, you know, Jeffree Star? Yeah. Do I think Laura and Manny have said things? Yes. Do I think Tati has said things? Sure. Do I think that James Charles has said things? Absolutely. I think that they've all talked, Nikita Dragon, I think they've all talked behind each other's backs, right? And then you have Shane Dawson over here, who he's gossiped with Trisha Paytas, and he's gossiped with probably Colleen Ballinger. You know, the other day I was talking about the party that they all had, and it was at Colleen Ballinger's house where Jaclyn Hill walked in, or she was there, and they put her in the they ask you one question, and I think it was Colleen. Somebody was commenting, several people commented on my video and said this, that said, were you really not aware that there were hairs in your makeup? Who does that to somebody? Okay, we're not talking about 20-year-olds, you guys. We're talking about grown adults that are running businesses that are multi-million-dollar companies, you know, that, I mean, that is one of the most hurtful things ever. I would have looked at her and I would have said, you need to move out of my way, because I'm going to be exiting this house in 0.1 second flat, and I will never be speaking to you again, period, end of story. You know, like, if you want to pull somebody aside and say to them, like, you know, like, hey, I have some concerns about this. You know, I've always really cared about you. We've been really, really good friends and blah, 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 whatever. Like, what's the deal behind the scenes? Call them on the phone, ask them how they're doing. But at a party, to put them in the middle of that, do I think that these people gossip? Absolutely, 100%. And I think they're all aware of it, and I think they all know that the next person has something else on them. The next person has something else on them. This is why I don't want any part of this. It's why I don't want to be in that. Leave me over here in my lane. Let me do my own thing, right? Tucker's over here. Let me, you know, make my videos and hang out with my dogs and my husband and drive around with my good Judy and have a fountain pop. I don't want any part of that. That is just mess, 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 mess. Right, Tucker? He said that's right. Okay, let me get into these questions and answer a couple more questions. Okay. Do you like Rufus Du Sol live? I don't know. Have I seen Rufus Du Sol live? I feel like we did. Was it last year, or were we supposed to and we didn't get to? Now, my husband loves Rufus Du Sol. It's his favorite band, favorite DJs. I love them, but I don't know if have I seen them live or not? Okay, now I feel like the biggest idiot in the entire world. Well, they came here, or were they coming here and we missed them? No, I did. I think I went and saw them. No, I did. I went and saw, how could I forget this? I went and I saw them with Alex and his friend Sarah and my brother-in-law Carlos and my sister-in-law Liliana. We all went there, and it was fantastic. And they sang Treat You Better, which is like Alex and I's song. And yes, I love Rufus Du Sol. Fantastic. And my husband's favorite birthday present from this summer was I got him a Rufus Du Sol t-shirt online, and it's like tie-dye, and he loves it. Yeah, they're fantastic. Okay, let's see. Dun dun dun. How often do you just sit and say seriously? Seriously? They said I bet it's a lot. It is like all the time. Okay. So many people are asking me, like, what I think about Jojo Siwa. I don't really know what people are like, make a video about Jojo Siwa. What do you want me to say? Congratulations, Jojo, for coming out. I think it's fantastic, you know? I have to tell you, one of the things I am the most impressed is that Jojo Siwa, well, first of all, y'all know that I'm like an old school Dance Moms fan, right? Like, I'm obsessed with Dance Moms. I watched every single episode since day one in Pennsylvania, Point Your Toes, Nia, okay? Dance Mom Holly is my favorite dance mom of life. But I always, I said always with a T. I can't stop doing it now. I always loved Jojo Siwa. They were so mean to her, you guys. They made fun of her lisp. I think I really related to her, and she didn't care. She was out there with her bow, and she was having so much fun, right? Who got the last laugh? Who got the last laugh? You know, Jojo and her mom, Jesslyn, and I love that so much. I love an underdog story, and I just think she's absolutely fantastic. I love that she doesn't make any excuses for loving rainbows and sparkles and all that kind of stuff. I love it. I think it's just, she is literally the epitome of being too much, and I think it's fantastic, you know? And one of the things I love the most is that she came out and she said in, in her, this TikTok video, she said people were asking her what her label is, and she said, you know, I'm still trying to like, I'm just paraphrasing this, but she said, I'm really trying to kind of like figure that out, and I'm not really sure yet, and that's very private to me, and when I choose to come out, I'll, you know, whatever, and I loved that. You know, like, that is such maturity, that she is taking that time for herself to kind of like just discover who she is. I kind of like, in retrospect, wish I had taken a little bit of time to figure out who I was. I think I would have come up with the same conclusion, but I'm just saying, you know, I'm a golden star. Do you know what that means? I never did it with a girl. Anyway, that's what it means. But anyway, we'll move on. Okay, let's see the next question. The next question. Oh my God, here is the same question. How often do you sit and say seriously? Okay, let's see. Oh, now I'm going backwards on these. Hold on. People are asking me about these people that broke up. They keep on asking me. I don't know anything about that. Who is better for Brad, Jennifer or Angelina? Oh, I'm not a Jennifer Aniston fan. I know people love Jennifer Aniston. My husband loves Jennifer Aniston. Not my husband, my dad. My husband could care less. No, my husband loves Jennifer Aniston because she was in Friends. My dad loves Jennifer Aniston. Oh, she's so good looking, and he's always loved that hair. What's with that hairdo? She's had the same hairdo for 50 years. But anyway, I'm an Angelina Jolie fan, okay? Like, I know she's kind of problematic and kind of a weirdo at times, but like, I loved her, and Girl Interrupted is one of my favorite movies of life, and I just love Angelina Jolie, so... But listen, I wouldn't kick Brad Pitt out of my bed either. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I was single. People always ask me that. They're like, who are your celebrity crushes? Well, my husband and I kind of have the same celebrity crushes. But like, we both love Andy Cohen. And Daniel Craig is mine. He is like my absolute number one. I love Daniel Craig. Anderson Cooper. They basically always all look the same. Like me. Until I start talking. Well, I mean, I think Andy and I sound a little bit alike. But anyway, Jeffree Star and Kanye, lies, stupid. Let's see, what else? It's been, it's kind of old, but I have been wanting you to talk about Selling Sunset. You know what, it's so funny, who said that? Pumpkin Face. Hey, Pumpkin Face, Pump Kim is her name, with a Kim, like Kim. You know, I started watching that back in the day, and then, I was like, I got like, I don't know, halfway through the first season, and I got so bored of it. But I have to tell you what's so funny is I heard it was completely fake. I heard that there was no truth to it whatsoever. And then I was talking to a friend of mine that used to live in LA, and she knew, like, one of the girls, and she's like, oh no, it's completely legit. And I'm like, seriously? She's like, oh yeah, it's 100% legit. She remembered when she started working for the guys and everything. Isn't that crazy? So anyway. Let's see. I have not been keeping up with Tati and any of the lawsuits. I don't know anything about that. I haven't been watching the videos. I haven't been keeping up. I don't know anything about that. Which Real Housewives city deserves more attention? Salt Lake City. It's so good. Salt Lake City is my favorite. Let's see. How do you feel having your name being brought up by these influencers? I mean, it doesn't really bother me. It's like, I don't think there's going to be any more that's going to be brought up. It's not like I have that big of a part in all of this. I don't really care, as long as they, like, get it right, because I'm going to be quick to come on here and tell them that they didn't, if they don't, you know? I've stuck to myself pretty much through this whole thing, you know, so it'll be interesting to see. I think I think like I was a cameo role, you know, for like 10 minutes. I was literally the Andre Marhold of this story. I was. My 15 minutes of fame are over. They were in voice notes from Charles Gross. If you guys watch TikTok, it's so funny because Charles is like, I was an Instagrammer, YouTuber. I'm still an Instagrammer, YouTuber. And it's like, all these people were like, who is he? I'm like, oh, poor Charles. But anyway, no, like, you know, it's like Charles and I think, got our 15 minutes of fame from all of this, and now it's over. You know what I mean? But I do think it's a good example of who Shane Dawson is. You know, it's like, so anyway, I think it shows, like, if he was willing to reach out to somebody that literally he had no relationship with to talk about somebody that he could care less about, what is he doing about his own friends? Like, that's kind of scary. You know what I mean? Like, you literally, like, I don't know. So, I mean, I think D'Angelo Wallace is right. I think we saw the real Shane Dawson in the moment that he went off on Tati Westbrook in that video, you know? But God forbid anybody calls Shane Dawson out and he runs for the hills and hides for 9 months, right? Where are you, Shane? Why are you having Ryland do all your dirty work for you? Why don't you come out and address this stuff? You know, oh, you know, got Trisha Paytas won't do your dirty work for you anymore. I do think more people will come out, though. Like, I was going to talk about this Gabby Hanna thing. You know, people are like, oh, Gabby Hanna. Gabby Hanna ain't going to come out. She should. she should come out and talk about this. And it would really clear her name. And I think she really doesn't understand this. This is what I'm talking about when these people need to hire PR. Hey, let me call a PR person for $10 an hour and call you up. Hey, this is Gabby Hanna. What do you think I should do? Should I come out and make a video? Absolutely, you should. Okay? Here's what you do, Gabby. You get in a video and you say, these are the things that Shane Dawson told me. This is what he told me about Trisha Paytas. This is what he told me about Jeffree Star. I'm clear in my mind. I'm moving on. I started a podcast. I'm doing new things. I'm writing my poetry books, and I'm singing my songs and doing music videos where I'm in a hotel room and dressed up like a naughty maid and things like that. Listen, I don't want any part of this anymore. I got my boyfriend. I got my 2 friends, and I don't want anything to do with these YouTubers anymore. So here, I'm cleaning the slate. Here's what happened. Here it is. You guys want to know it. I don't even like Trisha Paytas. I don't even care about Trisha Paytas. But here, I'm going to tell you the truth about Trisha Paytas, okay? That's what Gabby Hanna should do, and come out and say it. Now, y'all know, if I'm going to come out and say this, there's got to be truth to it, because Trisha Paytas and I, we have history. Trisha, I want to clear the air. I don't want any hardship with you anymore. I don't want hardship with any of these people anymore. I want to move on and just do my own thing. If Gabby Hanna came out and did that, first of all, okay, it'd be the second person validating these stories. Second of all, it would clear her name, okay, and then it would also allow her to move on and start herself new. What she is doing right now, and she doesn't understand this, okay, is because sooner or later, somebody is going to come out and talk about this and tell the truth, all right? Somebody will. And when they do, Gabby Hanna will be implicated in it, and Gabby Hanna will be seen as co-signing this, okay? And when it comes out, she's going to be able to get in no videos and say, I didn't know, because enough people at this point, myself and Dustin Daly and a bunch of other people, are already saying that Gabby Hanna told us. So what is she going to do? Say, I didn't know? No, you know, and you're being complicit, okay? That's the problem. It's not if Gabby Hanna should come out, it's why hasn't she already? Like, every day that goes by, she looks like a bigger fool in this whole situation, quite frankly, to me. Okay? So, and I don't really care. I know you ain't supposed to call people fools, but she does. She looks foolish in this whole thing. She should come out and clear it. She's a grown adult woman, okay? Seriously? All right, so someone said, do you think Morgan had a drama channel? I could care less. Everybody thinks that she has some drama channel or whatever. I hope she's making $1 million off of it if she does. I mean, you think with those people that they just have nothing to do but sit around and, you know, just, I don't know, drink diet root beers all day long and not be productive and call people sociopaths. You'd think that they could maybe, you know, do some research on what to do going forward. That's what I think about Morgan Adams having a drama channel. I mean, no offense to the person that asked me a question. I think it's a fine question. But it's like, I think we're missing the point of a lot of what's going on here. You know, it's a lot of, now people are coming out and they're saying it, and whatever the reasons, you know, it's like Tati said, somebody corrected me, and they said, Tati didn't say, we need to forgive the people, whatever. She said it a different way, and I didn't go back and check. I don't know. But I do like that sentiment to whatever, you know, that more and more people are going to come out and say things. And it's like, okay, if you come out now and say, I couldn't come out before because it was going to ruin my career. If I had come out against Jeffree Star or Shane Dawson 2 years ago, if Gabby Hanna would say that, Gabby Hanna said in videos that she was afraid. Okay, maybe she meant for her career or whatever. If she had come out and said, I was afraid to come out against Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson because literally everybody in the world, Shane Dawson sainted Jeffree Star. Literally everybody in the world was like listening to everything they said. I would have been gone, right? I would understand that. But to wait 3 more months, no. Like, what's that? That's not okay. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Let's see. What do you think Morgan Adams might do? I think she'll just continue to go on with her life and post videos and act like nothing happens like the rest of them do. Favorite psychological thriller. Oh, this is so good. Okay, so my favorite psychological thriller over the last couple years is The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn, but I have to tell you what is so sad about this. So they were supposed to make it into a movie, and he had this like 3-book contract and stuff. Have you guys ever read the articles on A.J. Finn? Like, he came out and claimed all of this stuff that there was like no truth to whatsoever. If you are a thriller, like you've read thrillers and whatever, I also have a true crime book club. But if you love thrillers and all that kind of stuff, look up A.J. Finn, The Woman in the Window, and there's like a whole article on New York Times about how he lost his like publishing contract and all this kind of stuff because of all of these stories. You guys, it is bizarre. That is almost more bizarre than The Woman in the Window. But the really sad thing about that is The Woman in the Window is like so fantastically done that I wish that he was writing more books. Okay, what do you think of Chloe Morello? I like Chloe Morello. She's fine. Let's see. I think she's very pretty. Let's see the next. I'm going to pick up one more question. Let's see. Everybody asking me, Shannon, Trisha. Family vloggers, I watched quite a few of them, I like them. Do you think Jenna left YouTube because she knew how toxic people Shane was? I don't think Jenna Marbles leaving YouTube had anything directly to do with toxic people. I think she just was tired. It was a lot to her. I think the comments that she would get when she would mess up or do anything, I just think she'd been doing it for a really long time, and I think she was tired, and I think she may come back in some kind of capacity, but I think she's probably just living her good life, you know? Let's see. How much of a king you are. Kim and Kanye's divorce. I'm sad for anybody whose marriage doesn't make it. I think that's sad, you know? Olivia Jade coming back to YouTube. I saw that. She's like, hi, I feel like I haven't posted in so long. I wonder why, girl. Did you see that? Where she's like, I've been gone for so long. It's so weird vlog. Girl. It's not because you were like busy doing photo shoots, okay? Like your parents were implicated in a major scandal because you faked your way to get into college. And do you remember you took pictures of you being on the rowing team? Don't act like you didn't know about it. Wow, it's been so long since I've talked to you guys. These people are delusional. They're delusional, all of them. It's too much. It's too much. So anyway, I'm going to get off here now. I love you guys. Don't forget to check out Skillshare. It's linked below. The first 1,000 people get a free trial membership, so go check it out. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.